Hi, Cindy here. Welcome to my garden. So today I thought we would talk about mulch. It is almost time to mulch. In some areas of your garden, you can start right now. It's just the beginning of March and we had a mild winter here in Central Texas. And there are lots of chores we can start getting done, and mulching is one of them. But I am going to give you a little tip about when to mulch under our beautiful live oak trees. So let me get back and show you the gardens I'm talking about and why I'm going to be waiting a couple of weeks to mulch because of the live oak. Let's take a look. I have quite a few live oaks on my property, and they are just some of our favorite trees, and they provide just so much shade. They are so tough and live 100, 200 years unless a limb breaks off and, and you have to cut the thing down. But this one is still covered with leaves and it's just doing great. I was going to see if I could get a little closer. You can see the leaves, but they are starting to turn brown because it is that time of year for the live oak to shed its leaves. So it will turn all of its leaves a yellowy brown, and then they will all begin to fall off. I don't know if you can tell, but these two live oaks in front of me, they have almost lost all of their leaves. And so all that's left are the flowering pollens that are here. And I'm going to show you a close-up picture of what that looks like. So here is the next stage. So after the brown leaves fall off, the next stage is this male flower. And this holds all of the pollen of the oak tree. And if you are allergic to pollen, then you are not really enjoying coming outside during this time of year. This doesn't last very long, but these will start exploding and a yellow-green powder will be emitted, and it blows around. It gets all over your patio furniture and the hood of your car and all over everything. And it is just a little bit difficult to get off. A strong hose, it'll just come right off, but it is, not fun to have. So the next stage, these get a little bit larger, and then they turn brown and they fall off, and they're called catkins. Somebody named them that years ago. And they just fall off and they leave these little brown caterpillar looking things all over the ground. They are not caterpillars, they're just some of the matter from the tree, and they just clump up all over the place, and you can blow them away easily with your blower, your leaf blower. But that is the stages, and then the next stage is a new green leaf. So, these will start coming all over the tree, and it will fill out it just seems like overnight you look out and all of a sudden your tree is covered with these beautiful green leaves again, giving you that wonderful shade that we so love and need here in Central Texas. So what does that have to do with mulching? Well, let's take a look at my garden now. I would have been so proud of myself to get a garden chore done before it got hot. But what I have learned is I like to see a nicely, freshly mulched garden that's got that really good, rich, dark brown mulch. And in a week, my garden beds would be covered again with all of these brown leaves. And it was unsightly, messy. And I thought, my goodness, I just did all that work and now these leaves are laying all on top of it. So what I do now is I just wait. I just wait another week or two, and in a short period of time, every leaf off of this tree will fall off of this tree. You have to see the noise in the background is this puppy having the best time in a bucket of water. He just loves water. So this is my preferred mulch, and I have tried lots of different mulches over the years. This is the Texas Native Cedar Mulch, and it is shredded up cedar. Let me just get some handfuls for you. You kind of see, and it does have some bulk to it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in my garden right now. And some of the great things about this, first of all, it smells really good. It smells like a cedar closet, and it's a natural bug and insect repellent. It definitely conserves moisture, and it helps keeps weeds down, and I absolutely love this. And this is how we make it here in Central Texas with these 115-degree days, with lots and lots of mulch on top of all of your garden beds. Okay, so this is what the garden bed looks like after 1 year on the ground. So I'm gonna dig in here, and it is still viable mulch. And has not disintegrated much. I mean, it is definitely breaking down, but it's still nice and viable. So I call this a win. And if you dig down to my actual native soil, of course, we are in a drought right now, and Leander, we can't water, so everything is very, very dry. So you can't look at this and decide whether mulch works. But once I do finally get to water and we put this mulch back on, it certainly does help conserve. And we are expecting rain tomorrow, and we are all so excited. Another mulch you can try is hardwood mulch, and this is wood chips crushed up, and it's usually from those pallets, and it's crushed up, and this does also conserve soil moisture. I've not found that it lasts very long. If you have acid-loving plants, then you might want pine bark mulch. Pine does have a natural acidity to it. Your azaleas and camellias will love it. So let's look at another kind of mulch for a completely different purpose. So if you can see, let me get back a little so you can see. This is a section of my yard that I don't have any plants in. Not planning to put any plants in back here. This is more like a kids play area. Dogs tromp around in here, and you want to have some areas like that for the kids and dogs to play in, but yet you don't want a lot of mud happening when it rains. So let me get closer and show you what I have here. This is called pine bark nuggets, and they are almost the size of the palm of my hand. And these have been here, this is year 2 for these nuggets. And they are the most wonderful mulch, and they do keep the weeds down, that keeps the mud down. The dogs can tromp around in here and come in the house afterwards, and we don't have a mud issue if it ever rained. But I absolutely love these pine bark nuggets. And here's what the bag looks like. This is made by Timberline, but I know there's many companies that make it, and I really have enjoyed using this over the years. It definitely conserves the water too. So the next question you may have is, how many bags of mulch should I order? Or if you have a really big job, do you want to just order it from a landscape supply company and have a big dump truck delivered to your property, and you can wheelbarrow it in, and you can save a lot of money that way? So there's lots of different options. I use just the bag by bag option. I don't have that many gardens to cover, and so this works out well for me. And now let's go to the garden, and we will figure out how many bags I need for a particular garden. So this garden here is not very wide. It's fairly narrow, and it's about 24 feet long. And I typically feel that if I stretch out my tape measure here, I've stretched it out to 6 feet to try to show you that I would put one bag right here. And that's going to give me a nice, thick, fluffy 3 inches, except that I already have several inches here, still here from last year. Let me get a little closer and show you. So if I take my garden fork and kind of work up, this has been compacted over the year, dogs walking on it, people walking on it. But if I were to grab a big handful, it is nice and thick still. So I am really not going to need, a bag every 6 foot here. So I will definitely use less. But if it was a new garden, let me show you another area. This particular garden is on a slope, and I have a lot of water runoff. And if you can see, there's no mulch here. So this is definitely going to need quite a bit of mulch. So here I would use that rule, one bag every 5 to 6 feet, and just, try my best to keep people from walking on it, keep pets from walking on it, because it does seem to wash off easily. So in getting back, this is the garden that really does need many bags of mulch. So I could put one right here, another bag here, another bag here, and another bag here. So every 6 square feet, I will put a bag of mulch, tear that open, spread it around, and I'm done. Now, of course, I am going to wait for a couple more weeks until this live oak has finished dropping its leaves, because I would like to keep my bed looking, once I put that mulch down, and it's that beautiful chocolatey, uh, well manicured look, and I want to keep that. I am not interested in the fallen brown leaf look. While we're talking about the beautiful live oak tree, I'll give you a little public service announcement. I ordered these and I put them out by the street to kind of remind others in our neighborhood not to cut on their oak trees at the wrong time, because we certainly do not want to invite oak wilt to our neighborhood. So the important thing to remember is you only prune July through January. So your time to prune on your oak, your live oak, is over, and we can get in there and prune some more in July. So many of you don't have live oak trees shedding these hard brown leaves all over the place, and you can get started right now getting your gardens ready for our incredibly hot summers. This mulch is really going to help conserve the moisture that you put on your plants. So I highly recommend lots of mulch, and at least 3 inches deep, and you are going to really see a reduction in your water bill and happier plants if you can do that. Another thing we need to talk about is compacted mulch. So over the year, this mulch just gets compacted by dogs walking on it, kids playing on it, and just the elements, just whatever nature decides to do to the mulch. And as I think, okay, I'm going to go lay some new mulch on this, well, it needs to be broken up some. If you don't break your mulch up, then it is not going to be able to absorb the new rainwater or, your irrigation. So it's very important, before you put mulch on here, you just get a pitchfork or, some kind of tool. I find the pitchfork works the best, and you're just going to kind of twist around in the mulch and get it loosened up and ready to pile more mulch on top of it. This ground is so hard because we've had so little rain, but can you see how, had I not loosened up the mulch before I added new mulch, that it would have deprived the soil of water. And so this is a little more work than I anticipated, but it's definitely necessary. So come on over here and get down close and look at this. You see these little puzzle pieces here need to be broken up. So after you've used your pitchfork, you can use your gloved hand and kind of break this up a little bit more. Now this is ready to receive some more mulch. So thank you for joining my channel today and watching my videos. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And I hope you get a chance to get in your garden today. It's beautiful out here. Bye-bye.